It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. Happy September to everybody out there. September 2nd when you are hearing this podcast, but September 1st for me, sitting here on a Thursday afternoon, a little warm out there, right? We turn the page on summer and all of a sudden we get the super summer weather, but it's all good. It's all part of living here in Southern California. And, in some parts of the country, September hits and in a few weeks you got snow on the ground and things like that. So embrace the heat, guys. It'll be gone before you know it, but high temperatures here. September is kind of an extension of summer for us, right? People talk about the seasons in California. Oh, I want to live in a place where there's seasons. There's seasons here. They're just a little different. And I'm not talking about earthquake or fire season, although those are real things. Drought season, there's all kinds of, I don't know what to call them, not fabricated seasons, but just seasons within seasons, we'll call it. But the seasons here in Southern California, anyway, you got hot, you got really hot, you got warm, and then you got, we'll say, I don't know, cool. Cool is kind of that fall, wintry season, right? It gets into the 50s and everyone's lighting their fireplaces here and stuff. And people in the Midwest are thinking 50. I would love to have that, in the springtime. But anyway, no complaining here on the podcast. As a former official, former umpire, I don't tolerate complaining. I won't tolerate it. I won't the people that go to their jobs and, oh, this is so horrible. Most of my coworkers are wonderful, and I work with probably a couple hundred people, honestly. But there's a few every now and then. You're just like, do you ever stop complaining? Let's do this. Let's do 24 hours without complaining. How about that? And maybe we all have things to complain about. I complain here on the podcast. Let me see here. I got a few things I'm going to complain about for sure. But get it out. Don't live your life that way. Like, come on. Go on social media, blast somebody, whatever works for you. Go to the batting cage, swing a golf club, maybe have a few pops. I don't know, whatever works for you. Stop with the negativity. There's lots to be negative about, and we can be negative. But, I mean, come on. There's plenty to be grateful for as well. If you just look around. Maybe not everyone has. I don't know. I'm just talking about seasons here as I start the Get Home Safe podcast. And doing this once a week now. I mean, not having an interview too often. It's just fun to come on here and vent away. I got to be very professional for the most part on the Charge to Keep podcast, honoring my high school football program. And that's gone extremely well. There's actually a game tonight, week 2 against the Linfield Christian Lions that I'll be heading off to here shortly. But today is Thursday, and so I'm recording a podcast. And what I want to say for you fans of both, or maybe you just Get Home Safe podcast fan, I told you guys Thursdays for the most part is when I'm going to release the Get Home Safe podcast. Thursday morning, I'll probably record them. But in this case, with Rio playing the game Thursday, there's only 2 times this is happening. I'm going to switch those and have the Charge to Keep pregame show on Fridays, Wednesday night, 24 hours before kickoff. Most people will listen to that on Thursday, the day of the game. And so I want to honor that and move the Get Home Safe podcast to Fridays, which is kind of what I was doing before anyway. But big circle, big juggling act here. In this wonderful time of year. So I thought I'd relay that when Rio plays on a Thursday, which is only one more time. It's in, I think, 3 weeks. Then the Get Home Safe podcast will come on Friday, and you'll get just me venting away, being negative, being positive, all the above, embracing all of the wonderful seasons we have here in Southern California. But you know what's almost the season is here, which is the most important of all seasons, is football season, my friends. We've already been playing high school ball for a few weeks. Last week, college football opened up. I saw a few games, nothing really to write home about, but there were some football games. Nebraska going all the way to Ireland to be mediocre as always. It's so sad to see a former great program like the Nebraska Cornhuskers just falling on hard times. Similar to UFC, similar to, what are some other programs that used to be good and aren't very good at Miami? I mean, I'm all about recent relevance, right? But the Nebraska Cornhuskers, man, they used to be everything. I remember that's why I wore number 15. Tommy Frazier, man, that option quarterback in the 90s. Oh, man, was the best. and to see them kind of fall on hard times. I think Scott Frost is in trouble, man. You can't blow what was that, 10-point, 17-point lead? I know, on the road on another continent to Northwestern, and the Fighting Pat Fitzgeralds. You can't say enough about those guys. Those Wildcats, man. They're kind of Real Hondo Prep-ish, a little esque there. They're, the underdogs, kind of. No one takes them seriously. Just a little private school. I don't know. I like how Northwestern plays ball, man. And they got a chip on their shoulder. I'm not saying they're going to win a national title or whatever, but Pat Fitzgerald, man, he gets so much out of his guys there, and so that was probably the most thing of note in week 0 of college football, right? Some other games I watched. Hawaii. I watched who else played? Was it Fresno? No, Utah State. So nothing really big, just a few games to warm us up, right? That appetizer. This weekend though is the opening, Labor Day weekend, and happy Labor Day weekend to all of you out there. Kind of the end of summer, right? As I've said, Memorial Day, the beginning of summer, Labor Day, the end of summer, where we get 2 3-day weekends here to kick off college football, and some great games. A few games as of note. I'm not going to pick games anymore because I found that I'm not very good at it, at predicting the future. We all think we're experts, and I might say who I like to watch or something, but I'm not going to try to predict because that's no fun. Then you have a rooting interest, really, and sometimes it's better to watch a game with no rooting interest at all. At least that's been my experience, but that's probably the referee talk in me, right? So anyway, college football starts this weekend. And guys, we are, as I sit right now, not quite in exactly 1 week away, but just about 1 week away. Next Thursday, September 8th, the defending Los Angeles Rams, world champion Los Angeles Rams, will be kicking off the NFL season, hosting the Buffalo Bills right here, where last season ended in SoFi Stadium. Rams get to drop a banner, hang a banner. The 4-time world champion LA Rams. It's going to be beautiful. If you thought I was annoying after the Super Bowl last year, I'm playing with house money this year. Although someone's got to tell me what that means, because I'm not sure if that's some gambling term. I'm not sure about. But anyway, I'm going to be, look at the Rams won the Super Bowl last year. Let's say they go 0-17. Will it bother me? Yes. But you know what? Super Bowl champs, defending champs. I'm going to go into this year with high expectation. Now, as soon as the game starts next week, I told Val a few days ago, hey, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year, so I'm going to be way more toned down this year. And she rolled her eyes. She goes, yeah, right. I've said, you know what? You're probably right. As soon as they kick this thing off, I'll be like, what is this mediocrity? What in the world? How could they do that? And then when they win, I'll be very, very annoying, because I've been annoyed for years by certain fan bases. And if I get a chance to pile on this year, ooh-wee, I'm piling on. And I'm talking to you, Cowboy fans, Raider fans, I can't even say their name, the 49er fans. Oh, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. And I hope I have this podcast. Well, I will have this podcast to just unleash on you guys. I'm hoping that we're in a good time of football right now, the NFL especially, where I can just make fun of teams that think they're important, that think they're good. It's going to be great. Fantastic. I don't like the whole Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance thing in San Francisco. That whole thing really doesn't feel right to me. But they're like, hey, Jimmy, we're done with you, but stick around in case this guy doesn't work out. But he's probably going to work out. We're going to give him a lot of, I don't know. I don't know why they're moving off of Jimmy G personally. That's my thought. But anyway, he's beaten the Rams, 6 out of the last 7 times. So he seems fine in my book. Anyway, football is almost here. We started a few weeks ago with high school. College just started, and the NFL was right around the corner. My LA Rams will kick off the season on Thursday against the Buffalo Bills, a Super Bowl favorite, I would say. Most people are looking at them as a team that it's their turn, I guess, but you got to play the games on the field. And hey, once that banner's hung on Thursday, we look at it, we all embrace, we're like, oh man, this is great. Then it's time to move on to a new season. At least those are my thoughts, but I'm going to enjoy it one last time. I have so many mementos here. I got a towel that says Super Bowl champs. I got the Cooper Cup game-winning touchdown catch. I got Ram stuff everywhere. So it's going to be awesome. And if they can make a run again, that would be cool too, but I'm not greedy. I got my LA Rams world championship. I'm a happy man. Life has been, well, not great in 2022, but that was a pretty exciting start to it. Anyway, I bring up football season because I have a message to a few of you people out there. And I posted this on my personal Facebook page, but I did want to relay it. I found it funny because it's not a joke, really. To me, this is like this is factual. I don't understand why this is controversial, but the Sports Troll Facebook page, fantastic stuff they put out. And all it said was, and I quote, "With football season quickly approaching, I feel it's important to remind all of my friends and family to please check game times before scheduling birthday parties, gender reveals, weddings, and even funerals." Is there something like controversial about that? I don't think so. I mean, you have a lot of days of the week and times to work around. Let's start let's go let's go in football week time. On Thursday, right around 5 p.m. here in the Pacific time. That's when the first game of the week is. So you got a few days before that where no football games are being played. Friday, you got most of the day, but then we're either on our way to, we have Friday Night Lights, right? We got high school football. Saturday, sorry, most of the day busy until after from 7:30 a.m. when college game day is on until, well, say, I don't know, 11:30 at night when that Hawaii game is over. I don't think that's a Saturday. Most people should be doing Saturday things anyway. And Sunday, don't get me started. Pre-game show starts at 6 a.m. here in the NFL Network, I think, or 7 a.m. Last game's at 5:30. So around 8:30 should be available. Probably not much going on at 8:30 on a Sunday night. Plus there's highlights to watch. So I would kind of book from like Friday afternoon until Monday morning, kind of unavailable. Nothing wrong with a Monday morning funeral, right? That can happen. Gender reveals. I don't know. Wedding. Who would get married in the fall? I didn't say that, Val. If you're gonna, there's nothing. Fall's a beautiful time of year, especially on Wednesdays. Wednesday wedding. Woo. Wednesday. I think it works. Fall wedding on a Wednesday. No games to my knowledge. Yeah, I think that's a good time to have one. It's perfect. Very poetic. Or whatever. Loving and magical. Whatever they're supposed to be. So you understand the scheduling from right now, from September 1st through December. And then once January hits, you just got some NFL playoff weekends. That's just Saturdays, Sundays. So it gets better from here. It starts out a little rough for the next 18 weeks. I don't know what's, put it in your BlackBerry or whatever. Do those still exist? Football season. You got all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday to get stuff done. Other than that, I almost forgot about the MAC. The MAC in like November, they play some, the Mid-American Conference. They play some like Tuesday, Wednesday games, but I'll give you those. I'll give you those. I understand holidays are approaching and we don't want to take up too much time. So anything that needs to be done or scheduled, I'd say Tuesdays or Wednesdays are pretty open. Other than that, know thy game schedule. Generally 10 and 1 and 5 on Sundays. Saturdays, there's games all day. Friday, anything before like 6, you're probably good. I don't know why it's controversial. I don't want to get too genderish here, but I mean, I know there's a lot of women that love football. And if you are, God bless you, you're on our team. I love it. But most men should feel this way. And if they have not expressed themselves that they feel this way, they're probably keeping something in. My husband doesn't think that way. Really? You're saying it's always good when your husband says exactly what's on his mind? Is that what you're saying, ladies? If so, I mean, I gotta start writing these things down just to, I get to say how I feel into this microphone pod, and hopefully I speak for men out there. And some guys are like, "Oh, what? Football season's starting?" There are dudes like that. And then I can't even call them dudes, really. You're not even a guy. Like that guy, my guy, you're my dude. Like, come on. That football game is on again? It starts again. Yes, it starts again. What is wrong with you? Poor parenting, I say. God bless Dave Hersema for establishing some rules of passion and knowing like, hey, this is important stuff. There's nothing like football, friends. Nothing. And it's here. Football is back, baby. And it's time to talk about it nonstop here on the Get Home Safe podcast. One more meme for you that I posted. Again, from the Sports Troll. Love these guys. Fantastic. This is NFL football season rules. There's only 6 of them, so I'll read them off quickly. And if you need to review, you need the course notes, just go to my Facebook page. But number 1, do not root against my team. Lots of you are going to break that. I understand. But But if you do, I'll ask you to leave my game viewing location. Number 2, do not call me at any time on Sunday, Monday nights, and Thursday nights. Anytime on Sunday. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to throw in Saturdays there, but I got to work early Saturdays. So if you do call me, I might answer. And I can talk and watch football at the same time. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it. Depends who's calling. At number 3, if for some reason you decide to text me during a game, it better be to ask, quote, did you see that? To which I will always respond, what the heck do you think? Of course I saw it. Are you out of your mind? Now, last 2 football seasons, a very dark time in my life. I had to work evenings. So a lot of Monday night football games and Thursday night football games. I had to record the game and watch them in not real time. So it's very, very difficult. Real Honda Prep. I had to watch them on tape delay. Broke my heart. But now, for the most part, I should be able to watch in real time as God intended. Okay, number 4. If someone is dying, call 911 before you call me because I'm guessing they'll answer. I won't. And this is true. If I'm on my couch watching a football game and you call me with an emergency, I don't possess a lot of powers or skills. So what on earth am I going to do? Now, if you're calling me for an emergency, I got to admit you're probably out of options. You've probably thought, who's the last guy I should call during an emergency? And that's Matt. So I understand that dilemma. And so, I mean, I'll probably forward you to call. What I'll do is hang on and I'll dial 911 for you. But I don't know what you're expecting from me. I'm not a sorcerer. I'm not a magician of any kind. I can't heal people. I can't, I probably won't be in a mood to drive, we'll say, a good mood. Because I'll be watching a ball game. So if you need a ride, you need help moving, I'll go on Craigslist and I'll find you something. But if I can't solve your problem from the comfort of my couch, close to my fridge, very close to my television, with my phone in my hand, you probably shouldn't call me. That's even in an emergency. This is football season. Okay. You had, let's see, 18 plus 52 minus 18. I was never good at math. 32, 34 other weeks to figure out your dilemmas and emergencies. So why are you waiting till the most important 18 weeks of the calendar year? Just one man's question. These are the questions you're going to get from me if you call me during these football games. Okay. Number 5, this kind of relates into the last one. If someone has already died, do not call me. There's obviously nothing I can do. Also, there's no need for both of us to be sad at the same time. I agree. I'm going to be sad during my football viewing probably at some point in the day. Why throw on more sadness? Wait till Tuesday. Then let me know. Hey, I know the Niners beat the Rams 2 times this year and they can't just seem to get over the hump, but so-and-so died. Oh man, that's a bummer. Well, I hope the Rams see him in the playoffs at least. That's going to be my reaction. I'm sorry. You call me heartless, call me soulless, whatever. Better yet, don't call me. How about that? This is football season, friends. I know I'm losing a lot of viewership here, but we have to be honest about these things. We don't get much honesty anymore from the news media. It's all slanted. Everyone's got an agenda. This is truth. I am speaking truth to you guys. Truth to power. Is that a, what does that phrase mean? Is that like go riot or whatever? I don't want to say that. Truth to power. Truth to leave me alone. It's football season. I'm here for you. If you got questions, you want to know about a team, you want to know what time a certain game is. I get this from, what time does my team play today? You ever get that one? You don't know what time your team plays? What is wrong with you? Is it really your team if you don't know what time your team plays? Oh, what channel is the sports on? I can't deal with these people, these pretenders, sports fans in name only, Spinos. No, that's wrong. I was going to say sports. I can't even spell. See, that's how worked up I am. Not rhinos. You ever heard that? Republican in name only? Sports fan in name only. Spino. Yeah, well, I'll go with it. Spino. You Spinos out there. All right. And finally, number 6. If you're confused about my availability until February, please refer back to rule number 2. Rule number 2, as a review, do not call me at any time on Sunday, Monday nights, and Thursday nights. There's a lot of other time in there. And you know what? If you call me on a Wednesday night, Tuesday morning, going in like super early, chances are I'm up anyway. I'm up around 5-ish. So you got options. I know most people don't want to communicate with me anyway. I don't blame you. I just wanted there to be some information out there that wasn't disinformation. Some people want to lie to you, or again, I am here to help relationships. I'm not very good at mine, so I figure, hey, if you're those who don't teach, you know what I mean, kind of that thing. Those who aren't great players become great coaches. So, kidding, Val. Love you. So, oh, she never listens to this. So, if your guy goes, oh, that game's not that important to me. We're not supposed to lie, but that's a lie. Oh, I don't need to watch that game. Tread lightly out there. Now, will I be on a vacation during football season? During the Real Hondo bye week, by the way. Will I be on vacation during an NFL Sunday? Yeah, I am. And technology these days, you can watch a game almost anywhere. So there's exceptions to these rules. I understand, but I know what time my team plays. I know who they're playing, and I'm going to find a way to do that without ending my relationship somehow. I'm not, look at, I'm dumb. I ain't stupid. Does that make sense? I don't know. I remember I was at my buddy JC Holt's wedding on a Saturday night in February. Actually, the day before the Rams won the Super Bowl. It's fantastic. It's a long weekend, let me tell you. And we were there having a good time, a little dancing, whatever. And I was like, there was a UFC card. I'm not a monster. I waited till after the ceremony. I waited till after the most of the reception, and I to the table, opened my phone, I'm watching it, and I got the old finger wag from Val. How are you watching sports at a wedding? I'm like, because, dude, technology, it's amazing. So we should put this on that big screen right there. And then she thought, I was at UFC, so she was like, okay, fine. But yeah, this is who I am. This is what I do. You knew this about me. I didn't magically become a sports crazed lunatic like the day after we got together. Oh, you are serious about that? Yes, I was. Wait a minute. First of all, when we first started dating, you thought that was my best behavior? Like, well, no, did I screw that up? Yeah. That's pause, rewind, edit. When we first started dating, that was my best behavior. That was my very best behavior. And I was still watching games and calling you in between. So it is what it is. This is who I am. I don't know how she talks. I don't know how she's. God bless her. I mean, people want to talk about going on combat missions and stuff and bravery. Poor Val dealing with me, especially during this. I told her, September, her birthday's in September, September 15th. And I said, isn't it great that they kick off the football season every year around your birthday? Isn't that fantastic? It's just such an honor, I think. And this is, I think, I don't want to get too sentimental, but this is many, many football seasons together, Val and I. It's been a while. I know what you guys are thinking. Rams got a ring before she did. I'm evil. I know. I got to get on this. I'm going to get there, guys. Trust me. I'm going to get there. It just takes time. It takes money. And I blame it on inflation. Rings aren't free. I'll tell you that much. So I'm working on it. I'll get there. I don't have to stress about the Rams as much anymore. So, okay, I stayed a long time on this topic. Poor Val, we know. All right. Godspeed, Burns. She's got another football season ahead of her. You know what's amazing outside of my girlfriend, Valerie, is an air fryer. If you guys don't have one of these, I highly recommend investing, especially for football season. Air fryer is like Matt Hersema proof. It's cook anything without having to watch closely proof. It's football season proof. It's, what do you want to make? You want to make a steak? Cool. You want to make some pizza rolls? You want to make some baked potato? You want to make some scalloped potatoes? What do you want to make? You want to make some fish? Like you want to, dude, air fryer, man. It doesn't heat up the kitchen. You just, man, throw almost anything in there. Potato wedges. We've been cooking out of the air fryer now for a few weeks, and it's fantastic. Burgers, pretty much anything. Throw them in the air fryer. It's healthier, or so they say. It's like less grease or something. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff, but it's fantastic. Pretty easy to clean. We don't have a dishwasher or a garbage, whatever it's called. We don't have one. It's like a 1940s house here. Got to do everything by hand and then not let it go down to the drain. But it's not that hard to clean either. If you have a dishwasher, throw it right in there. You're good to go. Air fryer, man. We've been cooking up some good stuff. Our most recent favorite is it's this pizza. It's like a quesadilla pizza kind of. It's basically a tortilla, cheese, another tortilla, cheese, pizza sauce, or should have done that first, and then cheese and pepperoni. You put in the air fryer for like 5 minutes. You got like a flatbread pizza thing, perfect for game watching. See, we prepare, we train. It's not even football. We get ready for football season. We had double sessions in August, double sessions of different appetizers and foods, getting ready for the season. That's what you do. You don't just walk onto the field and you're, oh, I'm ready to go. No, you got to train for this stuff. So, man, the air fryer, some great appetizers. And I bring up the pizza quesadilla thing because there's something you guys have to watch. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. Dana White, the president of UFC, he's phenomenal. And I'm going to clean up the language a little bit here, but it's called F It Fridays. And on Facebook and Instagram, every Friday, Dana White posts about a 1-minute video of some like totally crazy food. That we saw the quesadilla pizza thing. That was really good. He does all kinds of different food option, like something you can make, and it might be something crazy too, like an ice cream sandwich that's got like 2 giant cookies on it. He did like an egg roll cheesesteak that he didn't like. He tries really crazy things, foods that you can make at home. They range from just good stuff to, food, dinner type things, to appetizers, to desserts. Follow Dana White, and every Friday, check out his video. Again, pardon some of the language on there, but F It Friday. He has a recipe and something he does. And the recent one we did was the quesadilla pizza thing. And we've had a few of them. Let me tell you, again, I'm getting ready for the season. It's you think you just sit on a couch and start drinking and eating at the rate that you would in the middle of the season? It takes time. Got to build up, get ready to go. So air fryer, guys, invest in one of these. I'm telling you, it's excellent. It makes average cooks or bad cooks like me decent. And so it also helps with time and speed and all that stuff too. And then Dana White on Instagram or Facebook, I think he does them on both. Just follow him, and he posts other great videos, but every Friday he posts the F It Friday foodie type of thing. You guys do not want to miss. It's really, really cool. So, okay. Talked football, talked air fryer, talked Dana White. Saw a couple of movies, a couple of documentaries, a couple of shows I wanted to share with you guys. I'll probably lose a bunch of viewers here, but hey, it is what it is. Number one, I saw on Netflix. And it's this new Netflix series, right? It's called Untold, and it's a lot of sports documentaries. I haven't watched the Manti Te'o one yet, although I heard it's pretty good, but I don't know. I feel like I kind of know that story, but maybe that's the point of it. You think you know, but you don't know. So I'll probably check that one out. But the one I recently saw was Operation Flagrant Foul. And last year I talked about a podcast called Whistleblower, where a journalist talked to Tim Donaghy, the former NBA referee who kind of got mobbed up into gambling and fixing games and everything. And it was a phenomenal podcast, like a series. So it was like 10 different episodes. Well, this on Netflix, it's the same story. Basically, it goes in depth and tells you, it interviews Donaghy and all the people involved. So it's pretty wild. And it's only about an hour 10, hour 15. So it's a lot shorter for your time. But Operation Flagrant Foul, and that was the code name actually for the FBI investigation, which is where they came up with the term, which is pretty cool. But man, it was good. It was good. I started it the other night thinking I'll watch a little of this, and I was hooked. And to hear the story, to see kind of the disagreements, to see this guy thought it was business this way, another guy thought it, to see the controversy and kind of I don't know, the conflicting stories. It was fascinating. Plus the whole NBA thing, which if you listened to that podcast last year, you came away with it, I'm sure, thinking, what in the world was this? So, yeah, I encourage you guys, check that out. If you're a sports fan, even not a sports fan, it's interesting. Valerie was hooked. She was watching it, and you got refereeing, you got gambling, you got the mafia, you got the federal government. It was wild. I just got to say wild. So check that one out on Netflix. You won't be disappointed. This recent history stuff, this wasn't that long ago, but it feels like, feels like a long time ago sometimes, but I remember when it was all going down. It was crazy. So check that out on Netflix. All right. 2 takes here that, I don't know, I probably will anger some of you. It was August a few days ago, last week, and kind of the last weekend of no football. We dove into some different movies and shows and things. I finally saw Top Gun Maverick in August. I know it's been out for 3 months, Matt. What are you doing? You un-American? Yeah, I know. Generally, especially when you got to go out and pay for something, I generally will wait it out and watch it at home. That's just how I operate. Now, when I'm talking about sports games, that's like, you got to watch it live, whatever. And I also, which is ironic because I'm telling you guys what to go watch, right? I'm just giving you some of my opinions, some takes on it. But a lot of times, I don't know, if everyone's like, you got to see this, I'll wait it out a little bit just to kind of let it die down. But I saw Top Gun Maverick, and I think what is going to hurt the take here is that I have very high standards. Having high standards versus low expectations definitely will shape your mind, your takes a lot different. I enjoyed the movie. It was good. What I loved was all the tributes to the original Top Gun, kind of redoing, tying it, like Penny Benjamin being the love interest. I thought, oh, sorry, spoiler alert. I know it's been 3 months. Penny Benjamin, that was cool. The whole Goose connection, we knew that. Val Kilmer being in it. I liked all that stuff. It was cool tying into the story. But I don't know. Some of the sequences were neat, but I don't know. I think I had seen some of the behind the scenes stuff. It was good. I'm glad it was very pro-American. To me, it was good, not great. And I think everyone running around going, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. It's like, no, it was good. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good. Just not, I don't know, not a thrill, it wasn't The Godfather. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the stunts. I love the real stuff and everything, but maybe it's the standards I had going into it. Had I not heard anything about the movie before, I probably would have been way more impressed. If someone had said 2 days ago, hey, Matt, they remade the Top Gun movie, I'd have been like, what? And then I would have watched it and probably been like, that was amazing. But I know some of you guys are haters up. Maybe it's because my juices are just flowing for like the football season upcoming, but good movie. I'm not gonna say I was disappointed. Good, but not great. And now with all the garbage they're throwing out into movies in Hollywood these days, I will admit, yeah, it was, if you look at it from that standpoint, yeah, it was really good. But what's the phrase? The enemy of great is good. Sometimes, oh, that was good enough, right? So it did enough for that for me. There's other movies I would put way above it, but pretty cool. I thought they honored the original well, and it was neat to see not a remake, but a sequel to a great story. And so bravo to Top Gun Maverick. It's not a movie I guess if it's on, I'll watch it. But anyway, it was okay. It was okay. What I have not been impressed with was for you Game of Thrones people out there, I have not been that impressed with the House of Dragon, the prequel to Game of Thrones. And some of you guys are like, what are you, Game of Thrones? What are you, dragons and sorcerers? I fought it for years. I finally dove in and watched it. I was like, okay, the dragons and all that stuff, that isn't as much of a story as this Game of Thrones is about power and betrayal and all those things. So I got hooked on the first few seasons. The last couple seasons of Game of Thrones was awful. And I think they needed to hit a home run with this House of Dragon. They haven't yet, in my opinion. It seems like they got little hidden innuendos and messages, and it's just it's dragging, no pun intended. It's dragging a little bit. But I'm just not that impressed. And so some crazy or good needs to happen here soon, or I'm going to it's crazy watching a show one day a week, which is something we don't do anymore, but I'm doing it right now. Me and Val are watching it, on Sunday nights. And, when you have a whole week, almost like a football game, you got a whole week to think about it, think about what happened, what you saw, what you absorbed, but it's only an hour of television and a storyline. So I don't know. This is why I much prefer watching a whole season in one setting, because watching the whole big, long 10-hour movie versus watching it 10 1-hour episodes. So haven't been that impressed, but we'll see. I got high standards. If I had lower expectations, that would have changed some things. And I think that was what maybe ruined Top Gun for me, is my expectations were just too high. So sometimes you got to flatline, stay even, not get too high, too low, and just go into something with an open mind. A movie classic to me that has aged well. I liked it before, and I encourage Val, because she's so into music and was in the band and everything in high school and so much. I said, you got to watch Mr. Holland's Opus. Richard Dreyfuss is fantastic. It's about this musician who's played on the road. He wants to be a composer. He ends up getting a high school teaching job. He hates it. He hates teaching. Then he falls in love with it. All he wants to do is share the love of music with his son, who ends up being deaf. And it's just I'm not ruining anything. I mean, that's just kind of the whole plot going in. You got to see it if you haven't seen it. It's a really good movie. It's a classic. Some incredible music, some funny moments as too, in seeing the changes of our lives, going from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, just how much we change in generations and decades. And I think it's very relatable to today's times, and how the music and the arts has kind of faded away, and what have we been left with, so I would encourage you, if you're looking for a good family movie, Mr. Holland's Opus, go check it out. I think it's on one of the platforms, I forget, but a good movie. I shouldn't say all that, because then you'll have high expectations and it'll be ruined like the other stuff. Anyway, Mr. Holland's Opus, good family movie, especially with music. I'm not crying, you're crying. It was a good one. And Valerie really, really liked it. She goes, "How could you make me watch that?" I said, "I knew you'd like it. Like, I'm usually right. Come on, you know this." Then I get the eye roll. All right. Big news from last week, sports related, of course, was Aaron Rodgers going on the Joe Rogan Experience. How could he do that? Mr. the Disinformation Podcast. You ever notice the information that, I've said this before, but like Joe Rogan podcast, right? How could he say that? How could he have that expert doctor on that doesn't say what we want him to say? Isn't it weird that all the things labeled as misinformation, and then they never come back and say, well, yeah, they were right. Even when they're name something of all the examples you should have, of all the things that you shouldn't be, that he's spewing out. How come it's not at the forefront of hey, look he said to do these things and they're wrong? The ivermectin, the hydroxychloroquine, the masks don't work, the vaccine. Oh, that'll work. I didn't believe in the vaccine when I was told it would work. Hey, I was like, I don't need this. If you're you're going to be okay from COVID. You should care about the other people around you. I don't really have other people around me, so I'm fine. Anyway, those people don't care, so I'm good. And as a 97%, so, and then now all this goes through, and I hate to be the vaccine guy here, bring this up again, but it doesn't work. The vaccine doesn't work. It hasn't prevented the spread. You're a denier. How could you? Well, it's very simple. The president of the United States is vaccinated. He's boosted, all those things. It's not supposed to prevent you from getting it or spreading it. Oh, really? Then why is it called a vaccine? Well, it's just to prevent, it'll help you. Okay, whatever. I've lost all this track of this stuff. I don't even want to get into it anymore. But this is just my 2 cents. I'm allowed to have opinions. I think Joe Rogan, Aaron Rodgers, they're allowed to have opinions. They don't get any apologies. They've been, Aaron Rodgers. I am not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. A lot of things he said that I disagree with, but that's fine. You can disagree with somebody. I mean, for him to open the books really and be like, yeah, this is what the NFL said. This is what they did, the behind the scenes stuff. It was jaw dropping. It was just like, wow, they're pushing this super hard to the world's greatest athletes. You got to listen. Look, it's 3-hour podcast. You can listen to it, break it up, but check it out. It's really, really good and informative. And both of these guys, for their takes, they should be dead, right? Shouldn't they have dropped dead a long time ago? Pushing these awful narratives. And again, I don't agree with it. Both these guys are really into like experiment drugs and like I'm not talking about COVID, the COVID, nothing prevents COVID, but like the combating COVID or whatever. But like the I don't know even what to call them, psychedelic, like the some of the drug use. I'm not like I'm not behind, but to each his own. I'm more of a libertarian that way, as long as you're not hurting other people. But you are hurting. You're infecting other people. Yeah. Okay, we know. So are the mask wearers. But anyway, where's all the media members that said both of these guys were irresponsible? You're killing people. You're spread. They took down episodes of an opinionated podcast. Well, we have a responsibility to. Oh my goodness, it was great. I kind of liked how they teed off on the establishment, the government, especially the current administration, the NFL. It was awesome. And of course, as to be expected, all the media. Oh, Aaron Rodgers just can't stay out of the news. He still continues to say things that are dishonest. You ever notice when they say, guys, we have to start paying attention to this stuff. When anyone says, oh, he just spewed off a bunch of lies. Do you ever notice they never like list a lie? It's all labeling. It's all, what's my favorite one right now is, this is a separate issue. They're taking away your rights. They're taking away your voter rights. They don't believe in rights for people. Sure. Could you be more specific on that? What do you mean by that? Well, they're taking away rights. Yeah. Which ones and how? Well, they're taking away your rights. It's all of these it's headline talk. There's never any substance to it. Aaron Rodgers and Joe Rogan are spewing disinformation. Sure, could you list off a few things that are well, they're liars. Yeah, I heard you, but can you list them, please? And then maybe follow up on each lie, why it's a lie. They don't do that. It's so much easier in this headline social media age. Do you notice also on like social media, you ever shared something and it said you shared this without opening? It's only that way on certain like subjects. Rather fascinating. Speaking of Joe Rogan and the Mark Zuckerberg interview, how about that? How about Zuckerberg admitting that there was some algorithm funny business, we'll say, on there on Facebook before the election? That's weird. No one said that happened. No, you were labeled. You were called things. Right? It's interesting. That's all I'm saying. It's interesting. We got to start opening our eyes right now. If someone accuses me of something, as an example, I'm always like, why would you? I remember coaches. I'll give you an example. When I was officiating, one thing you were never going to call me is a cheater, because I would, you're cheating us or something of that nature. Number one, you probably get technical or a flag, but that would get my attention real quick and say, hang on, George, John, whatever the coach's name is, you don't have to like any play, any judgment I have right now, but if you question my integrity, we're going to have a real serious problem. Do not call me a cheater. You disagree with that or with a plethora of calls, you're not going to label me something I'm not. You're not going to do that. If you want to say, hey, Matt, you missed that call, our guy got there, whatever. Now we have some data. Now we have some definition, some defining moments, not just you've been screwing us all night. It's like, well, could you give me some examples? Because I can't. Just a broad statement like that. But no, you're not going to call me a cheater. And so many times it's, in my opinion, I truly believe everyone lies. Everyone lies a little. And even the most honest among us, we all lie a little, and it's sometimes it's lying to ourselves just by not being honest with ourselves, right? But I feel like it seems like the people doing the most lying are the ones accusing others of lying. It's weird, super weird. Accusing people things that you're doing or that you're. And with news reporting, again, I studied this stuff. I was no expert. I went to college, paid off my loans. I don't have any loans. Anyway, I remember studying and just like hearing in classes and things and hearing like about headlines and twisting narratives. And I was like, being a news reporter should be one of the easiest things to do. You just speak the truth. Hey, here's what happened. Not like, here's what we think happened, but like, it's just reporting the facts of what happened should be one of the simplest things to do, but it's not always done. I mean, there's hardly any news media outlet that does that. And so anyway, where was I going? A couple of Rogan podcasts there that you got to check out. And I don't listen to Joe all the time. I don't agree with Joe all the time. If you listen to people you agree with all the time, maybe you're part of the problem. I don't know. I listen to plenty of people I disagree with in different areas. I think a lot of people I share values with and things of that nature. But anyway, it was eye-opening. We'll say that. And more things are starting to be. Did you guys know that closing schools for a couple of years would be bad for kids? All these, and it's like all these studies are coming out, and everyone's like, "Wow, if only we had known." There were people screaming into microphones 2 years ago, "Do not close schools. This will harm kids. It's going to set them back." Yeah, but they're going to wear masks and be safe. It's like, dude, if you had an opinion a few years ago that people like shamed you on, and now those opinions are starting to come true, or starting to be dusting off the fossils there, God bless you for standing firm, and don't be afraid to step up and say, "This is what I said. This is what I believed years ago." It's all everyone else. Well, we didn't know this is a once in a lifetime. Get out of here. Common sense. Can we use some common sense? Thomas Paine, great book. I think I saw the. I don't know if I read it, but I saw the the title on the cover. So anyway, let me move on, guys. Let me see what else. College football this weekend, a couple of big games that are I would say couple of big games, but a few games that are I'll watch all of them, as you know, but I'm gonna definitely pay special interest to, and I thought I'd relay a few for you here. On Saturday, Oregon versus Georgia, the big one there, down in Atlanta, neutral site game. We'll see how good Oregon is against the SEC. Hopefully it doesn't get ugly. Notre Dame at Ohio State in the nightcap, the big primetime game. That should be a lot of fun. Midwestern feel there. Two perennial powerhouses, right? I'm happy to see this game being played early in the season, and I think it's a home and home Notre Dame and Ohio State. So we'll see. Notre Dame visits the Horseshoe there in Columbus. This one is really intriguing to me for a lot of reasons. Utah at Florida. Pac-12 against the SEC. Utah on the road. Utah's always had like that Boise State, Fresno State feel to them. Then they joined the Pac-12. There's some people that say Utah has a real chance of getting in the college football playoff this year. So I do like Utah on the road here. Florida is not what they've been in the past, kind of middle of the SEC type of team. It's going to be a tough test for Utah, but things that Utah has done well in the past is kind of that defensive line and being physical up front. They kind of match up, I think, with some of these SEC type schools. So I'm looking forward to watching that game. Utah at Florida. Arizona at San Diego State. I've said for a few years now that I've thought San Diego State is the best football program in the state of California. SC has been in shambles. UCLA inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get from the Bay Area team. Stanford's usually up there playing physical, but San Diego State has been very consistent. And this will be a nice test for them to start their season. Brand new stadium. I think they're opening down there in San Diego. They don't play at Qualcomm anymore. And they played it up here at Carson for, I think, last year. New stadium looks pretty nice down there. I've been down there a few times checking that out. Boise State at Oregon State. I always love Boise playing a Pac-12 foe here, another Power 5 team. Can't say enough about Boise State. I'd love to see them in the Pac-12 someday if that conference can stay together. But I don't know what Oregon State's going to be. I think Oregon State really does kind of fit in more to that Mountain West type of team. They're not quite, they're not a Stanford. They're not a USC or an Oregon. I think Oregon State has, as well as like Washington State, they should be in a conference more like the Mountain West. But there's some good football teams in the Mountain West. Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, of course. So some good football teams there in the Mountain West, and I love seeing them play the Pac-12 early in the season. On Sunday, we get a single Sunday night game, Florida State versus LSU. That could be fun. I think seeing the new LSU Tigers and Brian Kelly, of course, Florida State, they're always kind of this, are we back? Are we a pretender? They haven't been good since Jimbo Fisher left, but a program with great tradition. I love seeing some of these matchups of teams that have kind of that blue-blooded, those good traditions playing each other. Florida State, LSU. I mean, that just rolls off the tongue, right? So that's our Sunday night game. And then on Monday, we get an ACC matchup, Clemson versus Georgia Tech on our Labor Day college football Monday night football game here to finish off Memorial Day weekend. So I think Clemson, we'll see how good they are, see if they can get back to the playoff. Their quarterback is a St. John Bosco guy, so we'll see if they get back on track. And Georgia Tech always put up a fight, especially down there. I think it's at a neutral site down there in Atlanta. So those are things I'm greatly looking forward to here on the on this weekend. Just got to get through a couple of work days left, even Saturday. Start early, get back in the afternoon, and there'll be plenty of football to watch. Steaks will be on the grill, or I should say the air fryer, doing up a London broil. We got some tuna ahi poke we're gonna do. We got some pot. I mean, football, man, football food. It's all here. Can't wait. So I better finish this up. Get off to Irwindale to watch my Real Hondo Prep Cares take on the Linfield Christian Lions in a week 2 matchup here on a Thursday night because of an officiating shortage. So think of that next time you're screaming at officials at a game at the high school level anyway. So that'll wrap it up for me. Please check out the Charge to Keep podcast, the official podcast of Real Hondo Prep Football. I do episodes twice a week now. Sunday game recap with Coach Carson, a player usually, and someone else affiliated with the program. And then on I don't know what day, usually Thursdays, but in this case, it was Wednesday, 24 hours before kickoff. I release a pregame show that's usually just me, 20, 30 minutes, talk about the upcoming game. Sometimes I have a guest like I did this week, head coach Deshaun Burns from Linfield Christian. That was a lot of fun. Can't thank him enough for doing that. That's just kind of what I've been up to, guys. I know you probably didn't agree with all of my takes and opinions here, but who cares? That's what this podcast is for me to get things off my chest, be a little more outspoken, and for you guys to roll your eyes, much like my lovely girlfriend Valerie does all the time. Hey, I'll see you somewhere watching football, talking football. Great time of year. 24. Nope, not 24 hours. What's a week? 7 times 24. I don't want to do that math right now. 7 days away from the LA Rams, the world champion LA Rams, opening the NFL season against the Buffalo Bills. Can't wait for all that. It's here, guys. Happy New Year. Football is back, baby. So jacked for it. Good luck to everyone out there watching the games. Have a safe, responsible Labor Day weekend. But guys, as always, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around in third base, get home safe.